بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسوله وصحبه أجمعين. Mr. President of the Renew PAC, Mr. Speaker of Ivory Coast, Madam President of International Liberal, my sister Hakima Haiti, honorable MPs, excellencies, fellow liberals, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me first to express my delight, together with the joy of Mouvement Populaire, Union Constitutionnelle, and the Parti Libéral, as well as the pleasure of President Hakima Haiti, to have the Renew PAC annual conference being held here in the magnificent, colorful city of Marrakesh. Allow me second to thank the organizers, co-organizers, and all those who contributed to make of the Renew PAC annual meeting the event that it is today. The choice of Marrakesh as the venue of Renew PAC annual conference is not haphazard, nor is it fortuitous. Marrakesh is indeed one of the 4 imperial cities of Morocco. The city was founded in late 11th century as the imperial capital of the Almoravid Empire, which is an imperial Berber Muslim dynasty that stretched over the Western Maghreb and the Andalusia, which was the Muslim-ruled area of the Iberian Peninsula. Needless to remind you that the Andalusian civilization stood for 8 centuries in Europe, stretching from modern Spain and Portugal to parts of present-day southern France. Marrakesh, the red sandstone or red city, grew rapidly and established itself as a cultural, religious, and trading center for the Maghreb and sub-Sahara Africa. Late King Hassan II said once, describing Morocco through the analogy of the tree, and he won't like, Morocco is a tree deeply rooted in Africa with the leaves stretching over Europe. The idea here is to emphasize both the Moorish influence in Iberia, as you might have noticed in the cuisine, spices, architecture, and much more, as well as the Morocco's ancient ties with sub-Sahara Africa, which go as far back as the founding of the kingdom in the 7th century onwards. This is to say, ladies and gentlemen, that the choice of Marrakesh is to host this meeting is not inappropriate. Morocco is indeed linked historically and culturally to both Europe and Africa. Now, Renew Europe and Africa, reinforcing the liberal cooperation. A striking observation here. We seem more likely to opt for the use of the prefix renew, which linguistically means resume after interruption. My question here is, what is it that has been interrupted in Europe and that we have to resume today? Then again, reinforcing the liberal cooperation. The prefix shows up again and indicates that liberal cooperation has been weakened and that we need maybe to roll up our sleeves to make this enforcement happen. The main conclusion here is a prevailing discomfort and uneasiness in both continents, Europe and Africa. Accordingly, growing consciousness is observed sprouting lately when biggest UE parties try compromise to create pan-European MPs. In fact, the biggest EU party families have agreed to push to allow for a so-called pan-European, the European Parliament, which could further European integration. This move is visibly motivated by the feeling of an easy, anxious Europe that has never been so much in danger, as the Brexit points it out. And as President Emmanuel Macron has warned once, the European trap, according to Macron, is not one of being part of the European Union. The trap is in the lie and the irresponsibility that can destroy it. He carries out by posing the major misconceptions, saying, who told the British citizens the truth about their post-Brexit future? Who spoke to them about losing access to the European market? It is rejection without alternatives. The angermongers, backed by fake news, promise anything and everything. and getting us to do things that make no sense. And so our democracy ends making no sense.